Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Bella Salon and Day Spa, located at 41 West Main Street in Northeast Pennsylvania, proudly supports Chautauqua Sunrise and its volunteers. More information at bellasalonanddayspa.net. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. From the Access Channel 5 studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Channel 5. Continuing the traditions of Senior Report, we are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week, countywide, from 9 to 10 a.m. Join us by calling in live, emailing us, or checking out our social media. And now, from the Channel 5 studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. I had to wait there. I didn't know where I was. It was just the great darkness out there. Good morning. Welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels. We have a wall-to-wall, jam-packed show for you today. So grab your coffee, your hot chocolate, whatever, and sit down because it's going to be a really fun show for you. Okay, first thing right off the bat. The weather is something you all need to really keep your eye on. I wasn't aware that it was going to be quite as bad as they're predicting. I thought we were going to just get a couple inches of snow, which is true, but it's going to be followed by 2 foot of snow. So I want you to really keep track of the weather this weekend, especially starting sometime tomorrow afternoon, I believe, into Monday. So they're saying, once again, here we go, a pretty good lake effect snowstorm. So stock up today, everybody. I know everybody in my family is. Okay, I'm going to kind of do some brief announcements today because we got a lot of talk about today. So let's get right started. My friends at the Veteran Services over Chautauqua County, Mike Rao and folks, they sent me a little blurb. This is for all veterans. If you are a veteran or you know a veteran that needs any kind of clothing for winter, especially, guys, don't be shy. Call 661-8255, and they got tons of clothes, hats, scarves, gloves, jackets, whatever you need. It's cold out there. Let's stay bundled up and stay healthy. All right. One more time, 661-8255. All right. And as always, our friends at the Infinity Youth Workshop Series, they have, and I'm just going to go through these real quick. On January 20th, they have a photography class. On January 23rd, they have a drum and dance class. And on January 30th, they have the Kids Zone. If you're interested in any of those programs, give them a call at, their phone number escapes me here, but it's in the phone book. We usually have that number for them. But, and also, I want you to know that at St. Susan's Center, there's a Soup and Song, the Winter Series. It's the 4th Saturday of January, February, and March, okay? And the next one is coming up January 23rd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And a good friend of mine, one of my former students, Chef Carrie Gitford, is heading that up from Murdoch's Family Restaurant. And some colleagues of mine in the music world, Bill Ward and Amanda Barton, will be performing $10 at the door, Soup and Song. Great opportunity to support a great program. And just a couple other quick notes. We have just received information that here in Mayville, Registration forms are available for the President's Day Weekend Medallion Treasure Hunt. That's a mouthful. Many of you know that this is part of the winter festivities here in Mayville every year. And if you want more information, call 753-3113. Again, 753-3113. They hide these medallions. The medallion, you have to find it. If you find it, you win all these prizes. I don't know, trip to Hawaii or a new house or something. I don't know. I think there's some money or something involved. All right. And as always, if you're interested in Infinity programs for students, they're going to have a student orientation. It will be held Thursday, January 21 at the Infinity Center in downtown Jamestown. All right. I've abbreviated my announcement today because I do want to get right into what is next, and I have my colorful friend Rick Mascaro here today, the director over at the
Your colorful
my colorful friend.
We're here both in black.
Black.
Yeah.
We look good in black.
We look good.
We look good in any color.
Look good in anything.
Rick called last week, and you were telling me about a show coming up, and I said, well, why don't you come down? And you got to hold the mic up, I was just told. Like we always tell you
I
in the
wasn't
band.
talking.
I got the message
All right.
in my earpiece.
All right.
Don't argue with me. I'm the producer. All right. Anyways, Rick called in, said he's got a show coming up. I said, why don't you come on down? And next thing I know, he brings the whole cast practically. So what's going on?
You'll get to see the whole cast in
Almost
just,
the whole
in just
cast.
a second.
Okay.
We're getting close to the end of January, and on January 31st, which is a Sunday, and February 6th, which is a Saturday, Lakeshore Center for the Arts.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you. The Juice Box Theater will be presenting It's a Wonderful Life. And you've probably seen the movie, and you probably remember the movie. It's not the movie version. It's a live radio production of that movie.
Well, why don't we pop up some of the pictures that you sent me while you're talking? Okay.
Good idea.
Good idea. I have a note here to do that.
Good idea.
Okay. So it's a radio version? How's that work?
It takes place just like an old 1940s radio show does. We have a cast of 8 people that are actors. We have a sound person that does sound effects, just like 1940s radio. We also have a good text person.
There you go, yeah.
I cast the wrong person in that role. But we have a group of 10 that work together to bring this to life. And I sit at rehearsal every night, and it gets better and better and better. And I think by January 31st, if you don't come, you're going to miss a really, really, really good show.
Okay. And right now we're seeing some photos. What is that of now? I saw some people standing in front of a microphone, and there you go.
Those are cast members.
Okay.
You'll see the 2 on the left are the leads that play
Okay.
Jimmy Stewart's role and his wife. On the top right are Joseph and Clarence, the angels and the head of the angels. And in the front bottom right, we have 2 that play a variety of roles.
So people use. So you got like one person doing lots of different voices?
Many different voices.
Many different
voices.
voices.
Some of these people play 6, 7 different roles.
Okay. So when they come out to the show, they pay their money, they sit down, they order dinner, and then what happens?
Well, this isn't a traditional dinner theater.
Who's that guy?
Usually, oh my God, look! Doc!
Here he is.
I forgot to tell you the most exciting part. In our cast, once again, even after having him in the last show, we cast him again in this show. Doc Hamels, right here on our show.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Embarrassing me.
Applause for you.
All right, so you come in, you sit down, and then...
You come in, but it's different than most dinner theater because you pay $10 to see the play, which, if you go to many plays, you know
It's a cheap.
that's a steal, man.
Steal.
Then, if you want dinner, well, we hope you get dinner. You get whatever's on the menu, and you pay whatever the menu price is for whatever you get, which could be a full meal or an hors d'oeuvre or a pizza or whatever you want to get.
So it's a fun night out.
It is.
Okay.
I didn't tell you where though yet.
You'll tell us when we get
Okay.
back.
All right.
All right, so let's set up. You dragged all these poor people out on a Saturday morning. So,
Yeah.
so
Well, they
let's-
just got home.
They just got home from
They're
practice.
just getting home.
You know those actors,
Yeah.
musicians. All right, so let's set this up. What are we doing?
We're not going to give you any of the storyline per se. Within this play, there are also some old-time 40s commercials with the sing-along groups that used to do that sort of thing. So we're going to give you just a little commercial teaser today, I think.
Okay. So, are we ready to go?
I'm ready if you're ready. Are you ready, kids?
Sure.
Okay, here we go.
The kids are ready.
All right. We are live in 5, 4, 3.
Bum, 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 bum. WBFR in New York City.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Freddie Fillmore, your announcer this morning. We are presenting WBFR's Playhouse of the Air's presentation of It's a Wonderful Life in just a few moments. But first, gentlemen, does your hair resemble a dried out bird's nest full of dandruff flakes? Do you plaster your hair down like a cheap gigolo, smelling to high heaven?
P.U. What a stink!
When girls get a gander at the tip top of your noggin, do they go,
Ew!
Well, here's a friendly hint that may just help you out in the romance department. Starting tomorrow, why not try Bremel Hair Tonic? Yes, sirree. You'll be heading for success with Bremel groomed hair. A success with the gals in On the Job. Bremel always keeps your hair looking mighty attractive. Always in place. A real sex appealer. Bremel Hair Tonic does lots more than keep your hair handsome looking.
Bremel the Swank Hair Tonic makes your filthy bird's nest clean. A little dab will do ya. All the pretty gals will scream. Not only will dames love it, your barber will shout out with glee. Bremel the Swank Hair Tonic, your dandruff will be history.
Buy some Bremel today, and your hair will thank you. And now, back to our director, Rick Mascaro.
I love working with these guys. You all just crack me up whenever I listen to all of you.
Too funny.
That's the reason I do this, just to laugh all the time, because, it's good. It's good.
Okay, so that was a commercial. What else happens in the show?
Well, the entire movie version takes place in the show. It goes all the way. Well, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to tell them the storyline.
Don't
yeah, those of you that are under 40 probably maybe have not seen this, so come and see it and learn the whole story.
So there's more singing.
There's more singing. There's acting. There's
some drama in there.
There is some serious drama in there.
And
There's
some
life,
comedy.
death, love, everything that you can possibly think of. Well, it's a 1940s show. Not everything,
But it's alluded to.
Yeah.
Okay, and there are a couple other actors that aren't here today, couldn't make it, but it's a great cast. And this is what, your third production now?
Oh no, we've been going for a long time. This is like our 6th production, I think.
Oh, all right. I've lost track of you guys.
Yeah.
All right. So where and when?
We are going to be, for the 2 dates that I mentioned, at Zebro's Harbor House. And
Which is where?
that is, if you go into Westfield and you take Route 394 straight through the village, down to the lake, through the stoplight down on Route 5 to the lake, you almost run into it. It's just bare to the left a little bit, and Zebro's is right on the lake.
Okay, and when?
The play starts at 7. The dining room opens at 6:30. So I would suggest, if you're going to go at 6:30, order whatever you're going to eat. That will all be, given to you before the play starts, and then you eat during the show. Also, unlike most dinner theaters, you eat during the show. You
Throw
do all
food.
that during the food, and we encourage that. Yeah. Yes.
Like the places that throw the bread. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I was going to ask you a question. So that's on the 31st of January, which is Sunday.
Yeah.
And then February 6th, the show starts at 7 o'clock itself. Oh, reservations. Can you just walk in, or what do you suggest?
I suggest, the last time we did this, we sold out early that day. So I suggest that you call for reservations. The reservation, which is Zebro's number, is area code 716-326-2017. And just ask for reservations where It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay. So I'll give you 10 seconds. Anything else you want to tell?
We do a lot of like this. We just got Doc involved a couple of plays ago. We just got a couple of people involved a play or two or three ago. We have a good time. It's a fun group. We have a lot of fun. And I suggest if you're not involved in theater but you love theater, come join us. We'd be glad to get you on board. Not only do we want you to come see us, we want you to participate in it because we are, first and foremost, community theater.
Okay, well, Rick and Cass, thank you for coming on to the show today. I encourage everybody in the county, my friends on WRFA that are listening to us later in the week in Jamestown, come on over this side. We've got culture, we've got the fine arts as well. And drive safely, and we'll see you at rehearsal.
Thank you, Doc. We'll
All
see
right,
you Monday
thanks.
at rehearsal.
All right, we're going to take a public service announcement, and we'll be right back. I'm Doc Hamels. You're watching Chautauqua Sunrise.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The cast is tearing apart the studio here, and they are leaving. Put those chairs back. Hey, come back with that. All right, good fun. I hope you enjoyed that little skit that we put together for you folks. I'm having a great... Will you get out of here? Morning pizza. Anyways, it's a lot of fun working with that cast, and I do encourage you to check it out. Okay, today we're going to be talking about some other really cool things, some celebrations and some services and an organization that's been doing some really fine work for many years here in Chautauqua County. My guests today are Diane Hannum and Ida Lord from the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Thanks for putting up with it.
Oh, that was fun. That was great fun.
You really got to come out to the show. It truly is the old style radio show where they got we got one person that sits in the back, Linda Lavett. She comes in and she's making sloshing sounds and glass breaking and all kinds of things, and it's a good time.
Yeah, a good price too. Geez, just $10 and you get to see the show. Wow.
Yeah. So, Diane, I don't even remember how we met. We've known each other a long time.
We have probably CLN maybe,
Yeah,
Chautauqua Leadership Network.
I think that's where that was back in '96. So we've known each other 20 years.
I know.
That's hard to believe. And I think our positions and lives were totally different at that point. You weren't doing what you're doing now. I think you were associated with it to some degree. And I was doing whatever I was doing at the time. But welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you are the executive director of the foundation.
I am.
And Ida, what's your role there?
Community Relations Coordinator.
Okay. Well, maybe we can go into that a little bit, what that really means. Okay.
It means a lot. It means a lot.
A lot of hats. A lot of different hats.
They generally do, especially in Chautauqua County. Just like in the play, we have lots of voices. Well, in a lot of our organizations, people wear multiple hats.
Right.
So, Diane, you contacted me, gosh, it seems like 3-4 months ago and said,
you're right.
we got something really cool going on. Could we come on the show? And I said, absolutely. So why don't you, I'll let you frame up the conversation today. Where do you want to
Thank
start?
you. Thank you. Well, believe it or not, the foundation has been doing good work in Northern Chautauqua County for 30 years now.
30 years.
The organization was founded in 1986, and here we are 30 years later.
Oh my gosh.
So this year we're going nuts with celebrations. Throughout the year we have all sorts of different things either in the works or planned. So that's why we're here, to tell you all about
Building for tomorrow, today. What does that mean?
Well, building for tomorrow, today. That's what we're doing today. We're building an endowment. We're building successful organizations so that tomorrow our children, our grandchildren can come back to Chautauqua County and have a good place to live.
Okay. All right. I don't think people, as a rule, understand what a foundation is. Most people think, oh, that's got to be for corporate America, maybe. We hear about, and I don't want to use any particular foundation's name, but sometimes in newspapers you see these guys with their suits
Yeah.
and ties, and they got these big $100,000 checks and all that. But we're talking about everyday people doing good stuff, right?
You're right. I'm sure that you knew Dave Duino,
Yes,
who was our first
absolutely.
director.
I know Dave and his brother Rocco,
Yeah,
right?
great guys, great guys. You don't have to be a millionaire to be a philanthropist. That's what Dave said all the time. And we're all philanthropists. I mean, you're involved in Rotary, Chautauqua Leadership
Right.
Network, the work you're doing here.
As you are, yeah.
Philanthropy means love of mankind, and that's what we're doing here.
Okay. All right. And Ida, how about what's your role in this 30th anniversary celebration here? What's going on?
Well, there's a lot going on this year. We're celebrating our communities in northern Chautauqua County. It's not just our celebration, our 30th, it's the communities, from Ripley to Silver Creek and beyond. Every community in the northern Chautauqua County is a part of what the foundation is, how we've been built, who's come to the foundation and wanting to leave a legacy. So we're starting out with our kickoff, which is this coming Friday from 4 to 7, and the public is invited. We'd love to see you there. It's free of charge. You know, give us a call if you think you might come, just so we make sure we have enough food.
And where is it?
It's at 21 Bricks,
Okay.
and that's in Portland on Route 20.
It's a great location. I've played there a number of times, so it's a great venue. All right. And what's going to be happening there?
We're going to have food.
Food's always good.
We'll feed you. We have a few events going on during the evening. We'd like to talk to as many people as we can about what the foundation does, about our grants, about our scholarships, about volunteerism, not just with us, but in the community. So there's a lot of things going on as far as just talking to our community.
Okay, let me take a little break with you guys. Folks, you're watching Chautauqua Sunrise. My guests are from the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. This is a really cool topic because it can involve you and your family for many generations to come. I want you to know, if you have a question, you can call us here at 753-5225. You can Twitter us, email us. We'll be happy to ask your question, or you can ask the question live. I say this in the most serious way because I am a firm believer that we can do a lot for a lot of people if we just work together. And a foundation, when you leave this show today, you will know a lot more about it, because I intend to ask a lot of questions about foundations so that you understand how easy it is and how important it is to do the work that they're doing. How's that for a good commercial?
That's wonderful.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so
Thank you.
But, all right, Diane,
Yep.
what's the history, not of your organization, but where do foundations come from? Why do we even talk about it?
Foundations, believe it or not, go back 100 years, 100 plus. The first community foundation was in Cleveland, Ohio.
Not too far away.
And really in the 80s, they really took off. I believe there are around 650 community foundations just in the U.S., and it's really a worldwide movement as well. When we attend the community foundation conferences, there's always an international group as well, from Africa, from parts of Asia. It's very interesting. It's interesting to hear how they go about their philanthropy, because it's always a little different. But obviously, charity goes way back, starting with, I don't know who's starting with. We had a wonderful piece that Rick Johnson shared with us. We should have brought with that, about Alexander the Great.
Oh, way back then.
Yeah, and why he left everything behind. So it's human nature, I hope, to want to help others and share what you have.
You know, in light of what we watch on network TV and we read in the paper, we're constantly barraged by negativism. We're constantly barraged by worry about the person that's walking down the street, the person living next door. And we are, and I think I mentioned this on another show, we're becoming isolated, I think. In our minds anyways, and in our habits. We are forgetting the good stuff. We're forgetting about the things that make us what we are as Americans, is that we're a generous nation. And what's sad to me is, and we're all on Facebook probably somewhere along the lines, and someone will post a feel-good thing, and they'll say, well, it's time we post something that's nice. It'd be nice if it was full of nice stuff instead of all the other garbage out there. And so this is really a feel-good stuff, but it's important stuff more than just feel-good. Okay, so tell me about the history of your foundation. It's 30 years old, but who formed it? Why did they form it? Where did it all come from?
Well, without boring you or giving too many details, we had some of our founders attended, I think it was a conference for Chambers of Commerce, came back with this idea, hey, I learned about community foundations and we really need to have one here. A group got together and started talking about it, and their concern was that so much of the money in particular that was made in northern Chautauqua County was leaving. Businesses were being sold, people were moving out of the area, and what can we do to capture funds that were made here? So that's how it started. I'd like to share the names with you. I think we have a photo, and I hope I don't forget anybody. But of course, Dave Duino and Rocco Duino, George Weaver.
Did you send me one of those pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the one, it's actually one with them holding there you go. Good, now show me that, Ida, and I can tell you who's who. Dave Duino, Lou DePalma, Rocco Duino, Rick Johnson.
Okay, but it's not this picture.
No,
there's another picture that has. There you go. Can we pull that one up, Jeff? It's the guy, the guys with
suits on.
The suits.
The suits.
You'll find that here in a second.
Yeah, and Andy Dorn's not on there. Just, what remarkable, there they are.
So go right down the line. Let's start left to right.
First is David Duino, and he was our first executive director. And then there's Lou DePalma, who's still very active in the community. Rocco Duino, wonderful.
School superintendent.
Right, wonderful guy. Rick Johnson, a retired accountant, although he's not really retired.
Never really retired.
George Weaver, who really is like the grandfather of the community foundation.
He's got his own award, if I remember.
Yes, he does, the Footprints Award. And then Andy Dorn's not pictured there, and I hope I've got everybody.
So this is sort of like the original think tank, you're saying? Okay.
Yep.
Well,
great, just wonderful guys.
And now what's this picture from? What was this?
This is from our 20th anniversary.
So 10 years ago.
Yep, and for our 20th anniversary, we awarded what we call our Footprints Award to the founding fathers and our first board of directors.
Very, very nice.
So those were the gentlemen receiving it.
Well, congratulations to them. Very nice.
Yeah, great guys.
Now, as you know, Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast throughout the county. It said we're going to be on the radio, WRFA, and people down in Jamestown are saying, well, I should be listening to this. We've got our own foundation down here. We don't care. We want to talk about foundations, right? And what's good for Chautauqua County.
Of course.
So, are there other foundations? Could you maybe just touch on them real quick?
Well, Chautauqua Region Community Foundation, I'm sure most of you are aware of them, or I would hope. They serve with the greater Jamestown area. They've been around certainly longer than 30 years, maybe between 30 and 40. A great team down there.
Randy Sweeney and company?
Yep, Randy Sweeney, June Dietrich. They do their mission's similar. I mean, really the same. We want to make the community a better place, and as often as possible, we work together.
Good.
In fact, you may know in the fall we were awarded jointly the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce's Economic Development Award. So.
Awesome.
And we've done things. One of your texts here was talking about Amazing County. We did that together with Chautauqua Region a few years ago.
And I'm so glad you said that, because we were just talking about this in various circles recently, and it's the North versus South. There's no such thing. There's no wall, there's no line. It just so happens it's a geographical thing, and it makes some common sense, because you kind of have this space in between. But you work together, I'm hearing. That's great.
Like so many in the county. I mean, we're not as divided as some people might think.
All right, so let's go back to the history of the group.
Okay.
We showed the picture of these gentlemen that started this whole thing, and so what were some of the early projects and things like that?
But before I get to that,
let
me tell you, when this group was meeting and they brought in someone from Washington, D.C. who was an expert in community foundations and what can be successful, that kind of stuff. And this gentleman said there's no way that this small community can support a community foundation. They will not raise If they can raise $1 million in 5 years, I'd be surprised.
This was the people from Washington.
Yes, those
They
people
obviously
from
don't
Washington.
understand Chicagoans.
And within a year, we had $1 million.
Good for you.
So we'd like to bring that up. But you asked about our first grants, and Ida could probably tell you
Do we have
a
this
little
photo?
bit about them. We have a newspaper photo.
Did you
Is
send
this
it
a
to
photo?
us?
Yes, we
Yes,
Okay,
you have
we
it.
can bring up the newspaper article, Jeff.
This one. Our first grants included the Dunkirk Free Library, and
There we
that
go.
and that grant was for the expansion of summer project for children. And we've been giving grants to the Dunkirk Free Library since then. So it's not just one grant.
Is that
one
Mary
time.
Jane?
That's Mary Jane.
I
She looks the same, doesn't she?
So what was the grant for? For the library and what?
For an
what did-
expansion of summer project
Oh, wow.
for children.
Okay.
And like I said, we've been giving grants to the Dunkirk Library since.
And this is a project they continue to do in the summer.
Right.
Really, really popular. They go into Washington Park and have tons of kids do all sorts of things. One year they had like a superhero project.
Yes, that was
So
cute.
you're looking at long-term support for
Right.
certain projects. Okay.
Yeah. And the second one was for the County Armed Forces Memorial Park, and that's at the Dunkirk Lighthouse. And that was to help defray the cost for bringing the portable Vietnam moving wall to Dunkirk.
I remember
That was
that.
a very important project.
So you support the veterans.
Yes, we do. And the Dunkirk Lighthouse, again, we've been giving grants to them since that time.
Yeah, they're such an important part of Dunkirk,
Absolutely.
the lighthouse. Really a beautiful. They get so many people in there that I don't think we realize how many people come by.
Randy told me that place is haunted.
That's yeah.
You told me it was haunted.
They do hold
They have ghost people come by.
We had
give
a whole
tours.
show last week on the paranormal.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the third one was the Hillman Memorial Music Association. This was to support the production of Madame Butterfly.
Okay, so the fine arts.
Yep.
And where's that? The Opera
That-
House?
SUNY for
Oh,
those.
at the college, okay.
Yes. And then the last one, we were instrumental in supporting the study for the impact of Brockton Prison on northern Chautauqua counties, the communities. That was a $1,500 grant. We helped with a study to bring the...
I brought the prison here.
So from kids to prisons to fine arts to, wow.
That was the first four.
Very, very broad-based.
Since the beginning, we've helped out 292 separate organizations or special projects that have received funding from us, and many of them multiple times. It's not just a one-time thing. They get a grant once and that's it. They come back for whatever their needs are for that year.
So once they come to you, you can come back again?
Absolutely.
Because sometimes people
Absolutely.
feel funny. You
I
know,
know, they do.
It's like, well, we already got $500. We couldn't ask them
Or
for
we got a
another.
big one last year. We don't want to ask.
Yeah, it's funny how
Right.
people think that way.
Yeah.
But
They're
that's what-
embarrassed.
That's
They
what
shouldn't
the
be.
grants program is.
That's why we're here. I'm thinking of a grant we gave to start up a branch of an organization. I can't remember the year, but it was early on. We made a grant to the Chautauqua Adult Daycare to open a program in Dunkirk. And now that's going strong, and we continue to support that program. So it's rewarding when you see that we help get something started, and then it continues to serve the community.
Okay.
And evolve, and evolve.
Let's follow the money, as they often say. So let's just take $100. Okay. Someone gives you $100, says, I'm going to give you $100, you do what you want with it. What happens to that $100?
Okay.
Do you spend it?
No, we don't, and that's the great thing. So that person could come back to me or Ida in 10 years from now and say, well, where's my $100? Well,
Okay, what happened?
It's still
Where's the
there.
$100?
Here it is.
Still there?
But in the meantime, the income, the growth from it has been put out into the community to make the community a better place.
All right,
and
well,
it joins with other money to
People,
make a whole...
we're making
Oh, please don't talk about that.
0.001%.
I know.
So is that, you're sort of stuck with Wall Street?
No. Yes, well, yes and no. Without getting too complex, and if anybody is interested in our investment and spending policy, I'd be glad to share it with you. We have a policy that kind of spreads out or averages our returns over 5 years.
Okay.
So last year, kind of flat, but we average it with the past 5 years, and that allows for you don't have the ups and downs of the
All right.
market.
So you've got some brainy people that know a lot about
We do.
investment, not guys like me that just You know, here's some money and do what you want.
Yeah. We have so many policies and procedures, and that's a good thing.
Is this government regulated?
No. There are rules we have to follow,
Okay.
but it's not regulated.
Okay.
We've been a member of an organization called the Council on Foundations, and they introduce standards for community foundations, which we have met and continue to meet. So that shows that we're accountable, we're transparent, that we're doing the things we need to really be a community foundation.
Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of a breath now, and I'm going to go over to Ida. Ida, somebody mentioned, I don't know who it was, one of the two, you are into economic development.
Yes.
I don't get it. How do you do economic development as a foundation?
We had a group of concerned businessmen in the community, businessmen, educational, and private sector, that were concerned of the economic turn in Chautauqua County, especially northern Chautauqua County, where the business is leaving. So they were looking for somebody to be kind of their leadership in this organization, and they came to us, and they became a committee of the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. And they've grown very well since they started, as far as branching out and looking at bringing doctors to the area, to bringing businesses to the area, looking at how we can work with the college and other educational institutions in the area to make our area stronger. So they've really done a lot of good. They don't actually accomplish anything as far as, oh, look what we've done. They're there to help do the research, to bring the ideas to the table, to bring the individuals needed to make these decisions to the table.
Okay, so they're like matchmakers, networkers.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
So they're bringing the necessary people together to make these decisions, to look at the bigger picture.
So would the foundation ever provide, and I think you did mention one organization, but for economic development only now, would you provide seed money for an organization or a company? But probably not, right? There's other people who do?
Not for private purposes, but certainly for public or charitable.
Okay.
In fact, we do have a fund, the Progress Park Fund, that was started by a lot of these guys here, the founders, that helps with economic development in northern Chautauqua County.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, but the LED that Ida was talking about, just remarkable. I think there are close to 80 or 100 individuals involved. By the time you add up, we've got the main committee, and then associated with that are 6 or 7 clusters that focus on healthcare, that focus on manufacturing, and so on and so forth. As Ida stated, this is a group that works with other groups. You know, we know that we're not going to go out there alone and solve all the problems.
Yeah.
We want to bring people together. We want to be a part of it. We have resources we can bring to the table, and we want to share those with all the others who are out there working hard to increase or to improve the economy.
Well, I'm listening to what you're saying, and it's alluding to the show It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh.
There's a guardian angel, though. You're sort of like the guardian angels of your communities.
Wow.
No, but think about it. What you're saying is you're watching out for us. You're watching out for health and economic and education, and bringing people together and saying, here's an issue. Is that what you're saying?
That's our goal,
Okay.
certainly.
So
certainly.
you just earned your wings.
I appreciate that. We need a bell.
Okay, that's great. Wow. I have a question for you. I have lots of questions on here, and people, when they come on the show, they always ask me, "Do you have prepared questions?" I go, "No, I make all these notes
I'm
like you're making notes."
I'm not surprised.
Well, today's age, right now, you put on TV, especially like some of the non-network TV, but like cable TV or satellite, and I can be sitting on a Saturday afternoon watching TV, and no less than 10 organizations are trying to get into my wallet.
Sure.
Okay? That's just on TV. Plus, when I'm with and I visit my dad probably gets 25 requests every week for money.
Through the mail.
Through the mail.
Yeah.
Plus, he gets his free gloves and scarves and pens and
address labels.
all those. Yeah, I got those the other day. And then, of course, now we haven't even talked about what's just outside the door of the studio, the needs of all the things that we talk about here. How do you compete? How do you how do you get those monies that you've been getting?
Well, one thing that's different, when most organizations go out, they're looking for support for their annual budget. They're looking for an annual gift. In a lot of ways, we're looking for a lifetime gift.
Okay.
And that's probably 50% of the time true, because we do want those ongoing gifts to the endowments as well. But one thing we're going to be focusing on this year is our bequest society, and we encourage everybody in the community to just leave something to the community through their will. It could be $500, it could be $5 million. But the community foundation, all community foundations, it's all about pulling money from throughout the community to make this pot to make the community a better place.
So going back to our $100 story, that $100 is still in your checking account or savings account. It's still generating, even if it's a little bit of money. It's still generating.
But you pull it all together, and you've got quite a bit of money.
You take hundreds of hundreds.
It lasts forever. I mean, that money's always going to be there. That money's always going to be helping the community, and it stays in the community. It doesn't go anywhere else, which is.
So some years you're able to give out more money, some years not so much, just depending on the interest rates.
And it's always
right?
growing.
Yeah, and it's always,
and it's growing itself back
Absolutely.
up. Okay. Wow. All right. You mentioned a couple different grants and things like that. Oh no, let's go back to the bequest. I'll come back to the grants in a second. So if somebody does want to bequest a certain amount of money in their will, how do you do that?
When you're writing your will, you say, I want to leave $500 to the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. I think on our website we have the language you want to include. You want to include our formal name, which is the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation Incorporated. This is, gosh, Ida and I were talking on the way over about some remarkable people who have left just, their whole estate to the Community Foundation, and some we really didn't even have a relationship with. These are people who love their community, and that's they want that to be their legacy.
And they don't have to tell us that they're leaving it. I mean, that's the one thing.
It just comes out of the air one day.
Right,
congratulations.
Or they can let us know, and they can be a part of the bequest society. And those people are recognized in our annual report every year and on our website. But it's not necessary. But it's a wonderful way to remember your community.
And I'll go back again and again and again. In the face of all the negativity that we see in this world, people truly love their hometowns. We beat up each other, we pick on each other, we complain about taxes, but when the day is done, don't you touch my community, don't you give it don't anybody from the outside. We'll take care of it, but they love their community, they love their schools, they love their mascots, they love the town parks, whatever it is. That's really true. We love our towns.
We even love the weather.
Yeah.
Not always.
and we love it from April to okay. Let's go to grants. All right. So help me understand when you say types of grants, like what do we got here? Are grants a grant or not?
No, we have, let's see, the first grant that's awarded during the year is the environmental grants. That comes from our environmental fund. And those grants go to mostly educational, but other organizations that are doing something to help the Lake Erie watershed, whether it's beach cleanup,
testing, education for students.
Right.
Okay, so as we go through each grant, tell us deadlines, okay?
That deadline is January 10th for the environmental grants.
So that's done?
Yes.
All right, and if they wanted to, the applications are online?
Online,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that's one type of grant. Okay.
The second one is every other year, and that's the Community Pride Grant. And that's not available this year, but it'll be available next year. And that grant deadline is?
The same, March 1st and September 1st.
Right, but that's going to be 2017.
The Community Pride one, though.
That's what we're talking about, yeah. They're the same.
Okay. And, yeah, March 1st and September 1st.
I got March 1st. I think it's the second one. What kinds of things? Let's go back to Pride, Community Pride. What kinds of things would you fund for that, like, for example?
Just like it says, Community Pride. And what's nice about Community Pride is you don't have to be a formally organized group. You can be the Westfield Beautification Group.
Do you want to plant flowers or replace trees?
We've actually helped purchase trash receptacles that were, in Westfield, that fit the the Victorian style.
Right. Fits in the community look.
Right.
Yeah, the
Lighting, flowers, again, beach cleanup kinds of things,
Okay.
That helps.
signage, historical.
And one would think, as I'm sitting here, that probably a grant application would be stronger if they had matching funds.
Well, for this one, match is required, but it can be in dollars or it can be in volunteer hours.
Sweat
and
equity,
typically,
yeah.
that's what it is.
Okay. That
That's
you're
what it
willing to
is.
bring the people
We
together.
love this project, this program. We get some really wonderful projects out of there, but we'd like to get more. You know, really, your group could do one if you needed to increase signage here or plant some pretty flowers outside. Or
Chuck Kelsey, are you listening? he's the godfather here. I just show up Saturday mornings. But yeah, well, maybe we can get some more pictures ready. Okay,
And then
that's
there's
great to know.
the community grants, which is our biggest grant program.
Community grants, okay.
And that goes to the nonprofits to help put a roof on, to help put up a new what is it?
Fence.
Fence. There you go. I could picture something in my mind. It wasn't coming out.
That's okay.
One time we had to we helped purchase cribs for a daycare because the regulations changed and they had to have new cribs. So
the thing about the community grants program is these are grants that we know needs are going to change throughout the years through the community. So the purpose of these changes as well. The idea is to address the greatest needs in the community. So they're going to change. When years ago, maybe going back 15 years, all the libraries wanted to be connected to the internet. They wanted an internet workstation.
Technology upgrades and things.
Yeah. So we did a lot of that. In fact, at that time, we saw the need. We partnered with Lakeshore Savings Bank, and we just offered the libraries that didn't have workstations match.
Cool.
But now, that's not a need so much anymore.
So-
All the libraries have workstations.
Okay.
So we don't need to do that.
All right, hold that thought. We have a phone call. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, good morning, caller.
Good morning. This is Linda Spalding.
Good morning, Linda.
And good morning to your guests, Diane and Ida.
Good morning.
It's
Hey,
great
did you enjoy the first part of the show? Were you able to see that part?
I missed the first part of it because I was late this morning and I had to take my little boys out.
Watch it again later. You're going to love it, Linda. Trust me.
Well, I watch it at least 2 or 3 times a week. I love the show.
Wow, you watch it more than I do.
But I wanted to mention that the Northern Community Grant Foundation has helped out our senior employment program, our computer training. We have received money for equipment to set up special equipment and special licenses for our Generations Online training. And that was at the Dunkirk Library and at the Brockton Library.
Linda, you do a lot of networking, don't you?
Yes.
Because we had another, I think we had the veterans on. You worked with the veterans. I forgot who else. Linda calls in quite often,
Okay.
and we talk about senior jobs and things, opportunities, and she'll say, "Oh, I know these people. I know these people." That's great. Okay, so what's going on in the job market?
I wanted to say thank you very much. And our computer training is still going on. And one of the positive aspects at our Dunkirk Library is that we have a Spanish training component.
Okay, which is a rising need and obvious need that we should. Yeah.
Most definitely.
Very good.
Yeah, we're looking for a new trainer there, a new peer coach. Hopefully that's bilingual because, it really helps in the capacity. So what's going on? Well, we're just busy. We're doing our computer training and people are getting jobs. And there are services with our senior employment program. We're screening for various positions. They should call our office and we can hook you up with lots of interesting things.
Okay. Well, Linda, you're coming on the show in February, and I always let you off easy without too many big questions, but we're going to really drill down into what goes on in your office and how people get jobs and all that good stuff, okay?
Yes. I'd like to bring some of my participants with me if I could.
Nice.
I just had 25 people here this morning. I have a couple more. That's not a problem. We can do it. please do let me know who they're going to be in
Yeah,
that. Okay.
yeah. I wanted to really check with you on that, but
Sure,
I've done
sure.
that before in the radio.
Okay.
In the talk shows.
Okay,
I
great.
brought some of my participants, and it gives a better perspective of actually what's going on, what we're doing.
Okay. Lynn, thanks for calling in and making that little connection with the foundation.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Thank
we'll
you.
talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Have a great weekend.
And watch the weather, okay?
Okay. Oh, yes. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, folks, as you can see how simple that was. You put your finger on your phone, you push some buttons, 753-5225, and ask a question, make a comment, somebody's anniversary or birthday, whatever, I don't care. And it's free, and if your organization has something going on, let us know. We're happy to do it. I don't always have to read it every week, okay? All right, we're back to our guests from the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation, Ida Lord and Diane Hannum. And I'm trying to figure where I left off here. Types of grants. So we got through the environmental ones, we got community pride, and where were we next?
We're talking about community,
Okay.
general community grants program.
Okay, so what else we got?
Service learning grants.
Service learning.
Service learning mini grants are for teachers in classrooms, encouraging teachers to match volunteerism with learning in the classroom. We've had some really exciting projects through this. I could go on and on with them.
Well,
I'll tell you about one.
Yeah,
I'll tell you about
one. Or
one.
two, yeah.
And this is my favorite. I probably use this example all the time, so forgive me if you've heard it before. We had a teacher it was an art teacher, and she had her students work with students from another country, a developing country. What happened was the students in the developing country sent photographs of themselves to the classroom.
Okay.
The students in the classroom did portraits of the students from the
Really?
photographs.
Okay.
Yes. And then they sent them back to the students in the developing country. For some reason, it was in Asia. I'm thinking
Okay.
Korea or Vietnam. And of course, as a part of it, they learned their painting, but they also learned about the country and the students and what school's like there.
Wow. Nice.
A lot. Go ahead.
And then they did a video and they showed the students holding the portrait.
Right.
Oh,
And
nice.
sent that back
Yeah.
to the school.
Right.
Technology
How long
lets you
ago
do-
was this?
Maybe that was an older one, maybe 2 years.
One of the first ones.
Because I was
yes.
going to say nowadays they probably get on Skype and talk to each other.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so cool stuff.
We had someone do a little library. Have you ever heard of a little
Yes,
library?
they're in Buffalo.
Yeah.
On the post
Yes,
on
they
the
look
street.
like
it's
birdhouses.
Big birdhouse with books in it.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Don't tell my wife though.
Oh, I'll tell her. How do I get a hold of her?
She'll grab all of my
watching?
stuff. She'll grab all my stuff and start putting it in these little birdhouses.
And the kids meet with seniors. We had a group from BOCES. They're going down to Lakeshore Humane Society and doing videos for the animals that maybe have been there a while. You know, aren't real, haven't been adopted.
Right.
So doing things like that. Really.
Some students made bowls for the Empty Bowl Project.
Yes, yes.
That were
I know.
available
I'm
for
familiar
sale.
with that. Okay. All right. All right. Other grants? Or is that it?
Those are the big ones.
Big ones.
Right?
All right.
Yep.
You said big ones. What? People are watching and saying, well, you know, our organization, you know, we're small and they only give out big grants, or maybe the big organizations are saying, we need a lot of money, they can never meet our needs. So what are we talking here?
Yeah. The community grants program is our largest, and typically grants are around $5,000.
Wow, that's a considerable amount of money.
But sometimes they're less, sometimes they're more, and actually our grants committee is stepping back. They've established a think tank to really look at how we've been doing things and how we might do them better. We're growing, we're giving away more money, so we might be changing things a little bit. But we want to hear about any project, large or small. Sometimes we can bring in resources from the outside or partner with another funder that's local. But we want to help. We want to help.
Okay, and I'm going to tell a story.
Oh, good.
Okay, because you know the story. You know how
Okay.
this is. I was part of the Masonic group in Westfield a number of years ago, and as all things, organizations come, organizations go. Long life to this organization, well over 100 years. Well, it just came to the point where it was no longer sufficient, it was taking care of itself, but there was a pot of money. And many organizations say, well, what are we going to do with this money? Or maybe an organization that has a pot of money and says, we're fine, but we don't need the money. What could we do with the money? Well, in our particular case, we decided, much like Diane and I were saying, we wanted to keep this going forever. An evergreen kind of a thing, to remember the organization. So we gave the money to the foundation and said, set up a scholarship program for students that are from either Westfield or from Ripley. And this has been going on for a while now. And every year, some money goes out to students to help for college. And we gave them the criteria, we set it up, and every year I get a little letter that says this money was awarded to these students. And our Masonic Lodge doesn't exist anymore, but our will, our spirit, our money keeps on giving, and that money still sits there.
That's right.
Just like a little machine making money.
And that's a good way to memorialize someone who has passed, or just your family name. You've had generations living here, and you want people to know that. So maybe you set up a family fund, something like that.
How many funds do you have? A lot?
Close to 400. Ida probably knows
400.
the exact
over
number.
400.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little over 400.
All right, we are getting down to about 3.5 minutes left of the show. What do we want to talk about? What are the? We got a poster over here.
Yeah,
That's really cool. Can we get that poster, Randy? And
this is a quote from Margaret Mead, and it's really it's about what we believe.
Okay, so let's get a shot on there, and when you're ready, we'll talk a little bit about it because I want to. Okay, there you go. So why don't you tell what it says, because maybe everybody can't read it, and what's with the picture? That's really nice.
Well, the saying is, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. And isn't that what we're trying to do? Get our citizens together and maybe change our part of the world, right?
So hands together, huh?
That's
different.
Everybody.
Different races, different colors, different sizes, different whatever.
Yeah, different ages. Sure.
Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. So in other words, that's really how we always have done things.
Right.
And we forget about that.
I think of any great advancement in the history of mankind. What has really happened just by one person?
Right.
You know, it takes a group.
Idea.
Right. So putting some shoulders together and getting some resources together. All right. You're celebrating 30 years. What do you see for the next 30 years? Or 5 years or 2 years or next year?
Well, we'll continue to grow, and I think that our grants will probably change as the community's needs
change.
Sure,
as you're saying, yeah.
We don't know what's coming, but we know we're going to be ready for it.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Our next project coming up, or our next event, we're going to have an ice skating family event at the college, just so everybody knows. It's celebrating our communities. We're trying to get families together, and we're going to have an ice skating event on Saturday, March 19th from noon to 2 at Fredonia SUNY Steel Hall. And everybody's invited, from Ripley to Silver Creek to Casadega, all of northern Chautauqua County. They don't have to live in this area to come and celebrate and ice skate with us.
Be sure to send me those things.
I will.
Put me on your PR list, and we can do posters and things like that. If you have those things, I'd be happy to share that.
It's going to be an exciting year. Exciting year for the community. You know, we really want to celebrate the community.
Great. All right, folks, you've been watching Chautauqua Sunrise. I continue to be Doc Hamels. My guests today have been Ida Lord and Diane Hannum from the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. We're down to like 1 minute.
Okay.
So, Diane, some parting words that you want people to know about and things like that.
Well, I want everybody to come to our kickoff for our 30th anniversary next Friday, the 22nd, 4 to 7. You can come and go. There's no cost. Families are welcomed. It's going to be a great time. No pressure, no formal program. Just come and mingle and enjoy and learn about the foundation.
Okay, and Ida, you get a few seconds here left.
Well, just to remember us, the foundation, if your organization needs help, we're there for grants. If you'd like to sit down and talk about establishing a fund or a scholarship, we'd be happy to talk to you. Our number is 366-4892. We're at 212 Lakeshore Drive West. Please stop by and see us.
And your website is?
www.nccfoundation.org. And we're on Facebook, and we're on Twitter.
Okay, and that's a wrap. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, thank you for joining us here on Chautauqua Sunrise. We're going to do it all again next Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. As always, you watch the weather out there. Wow, that's quite a music. Anyways, be safe, be good, And love your neighbor. Donate. Start a fund. We'll talk to you next time. Take care.